Okay, so what were some of the elements of the partnership that you've been able to, that you established right from the beginning, perhaps, that have kept you two coming back together for venture after venture, 13, 14, 15 companies now? What are some of the things you guys sort of like about each other, working with each other?
I'll start. Well, to me, it's a lot of it's mutual respect, and I think it's exactly what Terry said, fairness. To me, I enjoy starting companies. I enjoy creating technology. I want to get it out there for people. But I don't enjoy negotiating. I mean, that's not something that and so I think when you have somebody you can work with and you get that part over quickly, and then you go on to really build a successful company, that's a great process. And I think there's been a lot of mutual trust, and respect, and that's to me what's made it work.
There were moments, I really view my relationship with Bob as a true partnership, and there's lots of partnerships in life, including the one that you might have with your spouse. And some of the characteristics are the same here, which is a lot of trust, a lot of goodwill. If there's any issues, you just throw them on the table, knowing full well that your goodwill is going to carry to the resolution. But what was so striking to me, actually, in working with Bob and then David and Ram and others, which is there can oftentimes be moments where one side is weaker than the other, and in a classic vulture capital world, the money takes advantage of that moment, and some people are neutral to that moment. The same thing is true with the entrepreneur, right? The entrepreneur has their moment of strength, and I was always struck that when working with Bob, that, not to use the street expression, he was always watching out for my back. It wasn't that I didn't have to protect myself because he was ready to protect me, and vice versa. So we've maintained this sort of it's a combination of mutual respect, but mutual recognition that, by the strength of this partnership, we're going to benefit. So that's unique. There are other entrepreneurs who aspire to that, but I think Bob really represents the pinnacle of that sort of, in my world, mentality, which is, hey, we're in this thing together. I may have strength at one moment, you may have strength at another moment, but let's figure out a way to clear that, not try to take advantage of those moments, but really focus on the most important thing, which is how do we build these companies to be great companies.